When people first get hired as social workers for child welfare, I see a huge amount of excitement in the classroom, a tremendous amount of anxiety because they know on the one hand that the job is going to be really hard and really challenging, but on the other hand they don't know exactly what to expect.
The most important thing for somebody to be aware of coming into this job is that you are going to experience things that you never thought ever occurred in life. It's unreal what you're going to see, and so you have to really prepare yourself. There's no education, even life experiences won't prepare you for other people's life experiences. So you really have to know that to basically expect the unexpected and to take care of yourself going into this job on a daily basis, because each day you don't know what you're going to walk into.
It's hard to measure accomplishments in this job because, especially with court intervention, you may not know the result, or the result may not be known for a long time, but maybe just protecting a child at that moment is enough.
There's a common misconception with people thinking that they come out of school and they're going to be a lot of working with these families and counseling and having a lot of time to spend with these families, when in reality you probably have half an hour to work with these families and these kids and then move on to the next case. A lot of these families require a lot of hand-holding, but you don't have that time, you don't have that commitment. You need to handle what's going on and then move on to the next one and treat everyone individually. I know a lot of times that you think what works for one family will work for another family, and it doesn't work that way. They could have the same allegations, same problems that are going on and have the same features, but everything is different. Everyone has to be treated differently because what works for one family won't work for another family.
They come very educationally prepared and very theoretically prepared, but what I really want them to know and experience and begin to get comfortable with is that the reality of this job is very hands-on. It requires the ability to go into potentially very, very challenging situations and to remain calm, to remain non-judgmental, to be able to get factual information and be able to put your own emotions on the back burner until you can sort out what's going on with a family and with children.
This career is not for everyone, but what we're looking for in a protective services worker is someone that's committed, someone that's enthusiastic, someone that has a good heart, someone that really can make a positive impact on changing the lives of the children and families that we serve here.
Kids need attention and they need someone there for them to be their voice and their person. If you can't be that person, I don't think you should be a social worker.
It entails a lot of responsibility and a lot of meaning. You come to work and you are dealing with people's lives and you're making very important decisions about their safety, from a teenager's perspective about their world, who they can spend time with, who they can't spend time with, and it's more than a job. It has a lot of responsibility.
I love my social worker. She is a true advocate. In my eyes, she has done so much for me that I know other people or other social workers, I don't think they would want to do or that they could see themselves doing, and she just puts herself out there, and she's amazing. I love her.
If I had a message for anyone considering this career, I would say definitely thoughtfully consider it, and if you are really dedicated to making a difference in someone's life, even if it's hard, I would say definitely consider doing this job, but just know that it comes with really extreme payoffs that are wonderful, but also extreme challenges.
Understand that the families and children and youth that you're dealing with have come from some pretty horrible experiences. They've been through things that some of us couldn't even imagine, especially the children that have been through all kinds of abuse that you couldn't even understand how it happens. It's a difficult thing to deal with, especially on a daily basis, to hear and read about and see the experiences these kids have had, and oftentimes to see it manifested in how they're behaving or in their demeanor or how they interact. it's to me is very, it's heartbreaking. And so you have to realize that that's what you're going to be dealing with every day. And what does that look like to you? How are you going to manage that? Because it can also take a toll on you.
I don't think I actually realized that there was so much abuse going on until I started getting all these cases, and some of the things that these people could do to their kids or children. It's just, it's sad. It's very sad.
I had 2 cases that really stuck out because I had them back to back. I had two babies with brain bleeds and retinal bleeding and broken bones and rib fractures, and it was particularly tough because I had a baby at the time, and there was a whole lot of going home and looking at my child, that how could somebody do this to a baby, and still maintaining that professional decorum with the parents and in my reports, and doing the best job that I could. It was tough. And I asked the supervisor afterwards to stop giving me, at least for a little while, the broken babies.
Going into a dirty home, in theory, makes a lot of sense, and we can all intellectualize it. But going into a dirty home that smells like fecal matter, where you're worried about cockroaches getting into your purse, where you're worried about your own safety or security, that's something that's very difficult to teach in the classroom.
We're supposed to have good coping skills, and I think the county provides a lot of resources for social workers to cope with the stress that comes with the job, but I think that it's inevitable that you're going to go home at night on certain days and struggle. And I do. I have a long drive to and from work, and so I spend a lot of time in the car kind of debriefing and getting into a space where I might be a little bit better at home, but sometimes I keep my cell phone on at night just in case something happens.
It takes up a lot of your time, and not just the time from 8 to 5, because you think about it at nighttime. Not always. You can set limits to yourself so that you're leaving work at work, but sometimes I'm at the dinner table and I think, oh, gee, I better check on that tomorrow, or I should have asked this question, or I wonder about this, and it's a life commitment and not a job.
You don't just impact a family for the moment that you are interacting with them. You impact that family and those children for the rest of their lives. It's a very serious and significant profession to have.
I know that there's a lot of children and youth and teens out in our communities who need somebody to come and ask them some certain questions, who are there possibly sitting to themselves in a really challenging, tough situation, not knowing what to do, and to have someone come and talk to them and ask them about it might really open up an avenue for them to get some help and some support and to be healthy and successful.
Seeing how that trauma is actually acted out in their life is probably the most difficult part of my job. But on the flip side, that can also be one of the most rewarding parts, because to see the resilience that kids have and see how they can turn things around for themselves and how they respond to adversity is something that consistently amazes me on a day-to-day basis.
One of the great things about the job is being able to take a potentially negative, stressful, threatening situation and turn it around to be able to form a positive relationship with people and help them identify areas where maybe child welfare could be helpful for them.
Child Welfare Services in San Diego leads not only in the state, but the nation as a model for service delivery. We're very proud of what we have to offer. We're very proud of the services that we give to children and families. So should you choose this as the career path for you, we look forward to seeing you as part of our team.